At Kohler Lawn, we have one Medal of Honor winner. His name is Herbert A. Littleton. Leo Holmes led the effort, if I'm remembering this correctly. He led the effort and was successful in having the Nampa post office named after Herbert A. Littleton. Leo?
How come I'm after people like that? After this is over, if you want to go over to Herbert Littleton's grave, I got some stuff over there, and it's Annie Bird and Littleton right over here. And I worked with him at the telephone company in 1950, and he'd already been through boot camp. So us kids were learning how to climb the telephone poles, and of course our knees were shaking. And he would run up the poles and run down and get up the top and cut out and go to the ground, and he'd tell the boss, well, that's how we do it in the Marine Corps. And the boss was having a nervous breakdown when he said, you'll get hurt. And we went to work the day the Korean War broke out, and in September he got called up. I think he went to Camp Pendleton for more training, and then he went to Korea. On April 22nd, 1951, he was forward observer. The enemy threw a hand grenade in, and he jumped on it and saved all of his fellow Marines. And right over here is a relative.
Thank you.
Put up your hand. He lives in Idaho City. He's a military. Well, I didn't do anything heroic in the Navy. First thing, when I got on the USS Henderson in Formosa, they made me the captain of the head. Everybody knows what that is. So, since then, I've been doing things for veterans for 18 years, and every time I run into an admiral, I tell them I was a captain in the Navy. And they're impressed till I tell them that I was captain of the head. And then, what happened on the first ship when I was the captain of the head, of course, I was an old cowboy kid, old, 19, from northern Nevada, eastern Oregon, and western Idaho. And this guy gave me some sandpaper, and he says, sand out this urinal. I says, what? He says, sand out this urinal. We're going to have captain's inspection. I says, I'm not sticking my hands in there. That's the worst thing in the world. And he says, I'm giving you an order. I says, go get the captain and I'll tell him the same thing. I'm not sticking my hands in there. So he was going to put me on report, and I said, do whatever you want. So he went down to the chief pharmacist's mate and got some big rubber gloves about this long, and I sanded out the urinals.
Yeah, all right.
And then I was a helmsman on the Henderson, and I remember once the captain of the ship right at the time, he says, follow that ship. I said, I can do that, sir. And then the fire controlman picked me to go on to their crew, and that's the best job in the Navy, but I'm colorblind. So he assumed because I worked for the telephone company that I wasn't colorblind. So I found out I was, so I went to a year of fire control school, barely graduated, and so I always worked with somebody that wasn't colorblind, and we didn't shoot off the mast or anything. Then I retired from being a realtor. Oh, don't tell anybody. And since May 10 of 93, I've been working on veterans projects. So I've put up 8 or 10 flag poles, and I always donate the first $100. There's the mayor. Remember when we had the Vietnam Wall? I donated the first $100. And the address of this cemetery is 76. I think we need something that designates that's a lot better than just a number. Good idea? I'll donate the first 100.
Let's take Leo's 100.
Then I met Captain Ed W. Freeman at the Vietnam Wall traveling one in Boise, and I says, Slim, what does your hat say? And he says, First Air Cavalry, and I've been notified today I've been awarded the Medal of Honor. So we become friends, and so one day I went by his house, had coffee, and I was leaving, and I was backing out of the driveway, and he come running out, and he says, you want to go to the White House with us? And I said, sure. So I got to talk to George W. Bush, the president, twice, one-on-one. So then we had lunch, and somebody says, well, how'd you guys meet and get acquainted? He says, well, we met when I got notified I was awarded the Medal of Honor, and he says, it's all history from there. Thank you.